A brand new and free tool designed to solve a big problem for sports card buyers and sellers. Anylot.com. So about 6 months ago, I noticed something. As a sports card player collector, I was missing some of the cards that I would have liked to had a chance to bid on or make an offer on. I was finding out about these cards selling on auction sites and other marketplaces after they already sold. For the simple reason, I didn't have the time or desire to monitor and check all the different selling platforms all the time. I had my eBay Save Searches set up, but as most of you probably know, the market is very fragmented now. In the past, eBay was pretty much all you needed to worry about, but now you have a significant amount of auction sites and marketplaces that you need to keep an eye on if you don't want to miss anything. So then I had an idea. As someone who works in the website and marketing field, I'd consider myself somewhat of an enterprising person. I said, I'm going to build a search engine for sports cards that brings in the results from all these different platforms in one place. And well, after looking into it and having some conversations with developers, I realized I was biting off way more than I wanted to chew. I already have a full-time business, and this project would have eaten up way too much time and money for me. But I said to myself, you know what? I guarantee, as hot as the sports card industry is right now and as much focus as people are putting on it, I guarantee that I'm not the only person to have this idea, and someone will do it and create something way better than I would have. And well, here we are. That leads me to my guest today. Barak Edut has spent the last 10 years in the tech world building digital products that shape the art and collectibles market. As part of the Artbrain team, which is the parent company, Barak serves as the head of Anylot.com, an AI recommendation engine dedicated to the sports card market. Give this interview a listen, and then after the interview, I have a couple final thoughts for you. So Barak, could you start off, before we get into Anylot, could you start off and just give me a little background on your history as a collector?
I've always been like one of those guys or kids that always collect some things. From toys to comics, all the way to sports cards as an adult. So I always have the love and passion for collecting and for aesthetics. And through the years, I always find a way to fuse my career in tech and the passion with collecting. So this led me to Artbrain. This is the parent company of Anylot. And to build this tool that we're going to talk about today that connects collectors with the items that they love.
Give us a little rundown on what Anylot is and what led you to create that.
Yeah, Anylot, in few simple words, it's like an AI tool that helps sports card collectors specifically get multiple inventory from multiple auction houses and marketplaces, as you mentioned. And Anylot builds under the technology umbrella of Artbrain, that it's a B2B company that help art and galleries and auction houses in the art space, in the B2B space, get better recommendation for their client. So once we sat down and thought, okay, how we can take the technology from the B space and the recommendation engine that we built for auction houses in the art space, how we can bring it to the collector market, to the end collectors. And naturally, because of my passion for collecting, sports art collecting, and what happened in the world of collecting right now, like in the past 3 years, it's just been organic. So this is why we sat down and said, okay, we think we have something here. Users need to get more and more visibility on the growing market. And now we can just bring it to them. So currently, the biggest ones are Golden, Heritage, Leland's, RR, and as well as eBay as well. As we continue to grow, our plan is to introduce more and more sources of inventory, of course, to bring more matches to our users. And I think that the one thing that's very important to mention is we forward our users the recommendation directly to the marketplaces. So we are just forward them directly. So it's kind of a win-win situation for everyone. But yeah, these are for the four biggest one, and we monitor small one as well, and we continue to grow every day.
Well, I think this is a huge opportunity, and the reason I say that is from personal experience. I collect mainly graded sports cards, and I'm a player collector. For a lot of the collectors that are what I'm, in the space that I am, we're looking for cards that, if you do an eBay search, there might be one or there might be none at any given time. But we want to know when that card pops up. Not just, it used to be just eBay, right? Like back in the day, as long as you had a saved search for eBay for the specific card that you wanted to know when it came up for sale, you were pretty good. But now,
Right.
like you said, it's that really the auction houses are one of the biggest ones, Heritage, Golden, but there's so many different auction houses too, that a lot of times I'll see a card that I would have bid on. I just didn't know that it was up for auction because I don't have the time to go to Golden and then Heritage. And then, like I said, there's a dozen or more different auction houses that you
Right.
potentially want to look at. And that's not to mention sites like, are you familiar at all with myslabs.com?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, MySlabs. And then there's PWCC, who now has, their own auctions and their own marketplace. So for me as a collector, I don't really have the time every day to look and say, let me look at MySlabs and PWCC, Gold, and Heritage. So I think this is a big, if you can expand the sites even more, I think it's going to even create more value for collectors, because I've heard it over and over. People have that same issue that I have, where they don't have the time. And I'll tell you, on the selling end too, this is huge for sellers, because one of the reasons that I know a lot of people have held off recently on putting some of their cards up for sale is because they're afraid that people might miss their card. And if they can have someone deliver those cards to them, to their inbox, I think that's huge. Big opportunity.
Yeah, I think you just touched the main solution that we tried to solve. And especially now that the market is like booming and we see many new auction houses and marketplaces, and we're going to see a lot more in the future, as well as small blogs and forums that, it's very hard to reach as a day-to-day collector. And this is exactly what the technology that we try to build here, to monitor as much as possible, to just deliver you everything you search for every day, hopefully, but now every week. You're just gonna get a notification. Hey, this is the cards that you're looking for, and if you want to change your preferences, you can always change it, and we will find you new cards for the new preferences. So this is regarding the technology, and you mentioned as well the seller side. And if I need to look to the vision of any lot, again, you touched right in the main solution. The vision is to be in a marketplace that leverage the technology and help buyers and sellers find each other in a much more convenient way, because of the recommendation engine, because we know how to match collector with the item that they're looking for.
And I wanted to ask you about the preferences. So I know you just launched, and I already signed up on your site. So basically, for those listening, what you'll find is when you sign up, people get asked certain questions. What sports are you interested in? What type of things you collect? There's a bunch of questions that they get at the beginning that help you get that initial kind of recommendation set. Now,
yeah, and we also give the option to write free speech in the end and just tell us in your own word what you exactly looking for, because everyone have their own specific preferences. Sometimes it's not only specific grading or era, it's more like specific player or team, and you can just write down your preferences and we will find it.
Well, that's exactly what that is a big thing right there. So just to confirm, if like I said, I'm a player collector. Let's say I collect Mickey Mantle, right? Mm-hmm. So I can type in a specific card and grade, right? So I can type in Mickey Mantle 1952 tops in a PSA 2. And that's exactly. Am I correct in saying that your capabilities are that if any of the sites that you monitor, if any of that specific card comes up for auction or for sale, that I would get an email on that specific card? Are you that detailed yet, or is that still somewhere headed?
This is what we do right now. this is what's happened today. Today, we give individual cards specific to your preferences. As long as you get details and as much detail you give us, we will find the card that you're looking for. And if it's somehow you want to change, someone you want to add, or you didn't get the preferences you want, you always can go back and change your preferences, and we will find you what you're looking for.
One of the reasons I definitely wanted to speak with you here is to do my part in helping to get the word out, because I'm a collector, and I'm really interested in seeing that experience of the collector get better and better. And tools like this are exactly what we need as collectors. A lot of these sites, right, that I use, PWCC, MySlabs, I already mentioned those two, but those are two specific sites right now that still don't have saved searches like eBay does, right? So eBay does not, that's one of the best features of eBay is that you can save searches for the card you're looking for, and you get that email. But these other sites, especially the auction houses, they don't have that capability. So if by you bringing this in at this time in the market, I think is if you can, get that word out, you're going to have a huge adoption, because this is a problem that many collectors are experiencing, and I hope they jump on, because I've already looked at your site. You have a really nice website.
Thank you very much.
I've already as someone who's in the website space for my employment, I know a good website, and you definitely have that, especially as version 1 of your site. It's a great site, very user friendly, and that first email I got, I didn't really give a lot of detail on the questionnaire. That I'm going to refine that, but based on what I put in as a general guideline, you provided great recommendations. So
amazing.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to hear it. Yeah, it's amazing.
So last question: what do you think is moving forward now? Obviously, you want to get the word out. I think that's obviously important. But what like on your end of it, what's going to be the biggest challenge here for this year? Is it getting more platforms, more marketplaces integrated with what you have going? Is that like your main focus, or what is the biggest thing you're working on next?
Yeah, so I think first of all, our focus is always bring the most value we can to the end collector. From the recommendation point of view and the product point of view. And as you said, like the onboarding process has to be as seamless as possible, and let the user use the product the easiest way we can. And the second thing is, any new product launch, we're trying to grow our community and spread the word among collectors. So far, it's working very good for us, and we see a great traction. But it's always a challenge to bring more and more users to the platform. And the third thing, I think we mentioned it before, it's to introduce the marketplace, start to do more and more introduction between buyers and sellers through the brain, through the AI recommendation brain, and help people start buy and sell more accurately, let's say. This is the three main challenges, I think we're on the right track.
Barak, I appreciate you jumping on, and I hope I can have you on again in the near future, just to stay up to date with the changes and how AnyLot.com is evolving.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I appreciate it very much.
All right, thanks again. So a couple reasons why I think AnyLot.com has a great chance to make a big impact on the sports card industry. Number one, the genius of AnyLot, in my view, is that they've built something that's a win-win for both sides. They aren't listing anything on their site and potentially stealing traffic from the other marketplaces. Instead, they forward the traffic to the marketplaces, so it benefits not just the buyers and collectors, but also the sellers in the marketplaces. And then number two, when I noticed this problem 6 months ago, I was mainly focused on the buyer side because I haven't done much selling at all yet. And while AnyLot looks to be a great potential solution for buyers, I think sellers might even see a bigger benefit. If AnyLot can significantly lessen the chances that potential buyers will miss your card that's up for auction if you're a seller, then you'll have more views, bids, and offers. And as the list of marketplaces continues to grow, the biggest issue they'll have to address is really getting more traffic to their listings. as the competition grows, it's going to be harder and harder. So if any lot can drive a meaningful amount of traffic to this newly fragmented marketplace landscape, I think it can be a big winner. And remember, Any Lot is a free tool, and they just launched just in beginning of January. So like any technology, it's meant to improve as it goes along. But go check it out now. I think it's already off to a great start. Thanks again to Barak for joining me, and thank you for listening.